Hey, God, though, it has become increasingly difficult for migrants living in the UK. As we all know that the inflation rate in the UK is very, very crazy at the moment. The prices of food, the prices of bills, the prices of everything are rising. And even residents of the country are facing this hardship, same as immigrants. So the residents are fighting, or the people are fighting, that since everything is getting increased, then increase our salary. We can see that the train drivers, the doctors, the junior doctors, the nurses, the school teachers, everyone is going on strike due to this financial hardship. And to tackle this inflation rate, or to tackle the demand of the worker, the Prime Minister has concluded that they are going to increase these people's salary from, I think, some people get to have 6% increase, some people get to have 9% increase, just to, depending on the increase they're going to give you. The way to meet up with that demand is to fall back on immigrants. Hey, immigrants are the ones to be at the receiving end. So the UK has looked everywhere in their economy to see where to get money from, to see how to meet up to the demands of this increase that they've made, which is going to be costing them about 5 billion naira, and they saw nowhere to get it from their economy apart from the immigrants. So if you're an immigrant, I think this is the time for us to buckle up, because this UK economy is no longer smiling. As a UK immigrant, you don't have access to public funds, you don't have access to a lot of things, you pay for things through your nose, you can't access some loans because you are an immigrant, you can access, there are a lot of disadvantages being an immigrant. I really wish at this point that our home country was much more desirable, which would make us just pack our bags and just go home when, when they start to make difficult laws like this. So the plan is to increase the visa fees, the health surcharge fee. This health surcharge fee is supposed to be paid by every immigrant to be able to fund the NHS. So whether you are coming to the UK, whether you use the NHS or not, you are meant to pay this fee, and this fee is going to cover you till the end of your visa. So if you have a 3-year visa, you have to pay that surcharge fee in advance for the 3 years. So if you have a 5-year visa, you have to pay this health surcharge fee in advance for the same year. So imagine how hard it is already for people to even get money to migrate to the UK. Now putting all these rules, it's just making things more difficult. I think it's just making things more difficult, and people might not even be able to afford coming to the UK at the end of the day. Why are things so hard? Why are things so hard? So if you want to apply for your indefinite leave to remain, you have to pay a 20% increase. A 20% increase. This money is quite a lot compared to what you are earning, compared to the inflation rates. Everything is just so, like, it's very, very tiring. I'm sad I have to bring you this news, but this is what we are going to be facing. But I just think that if you're in the UK, we need to start bracing up for the hardship ahead, because they might want to implement this law now, and they say 20% is no longer, 20% can no longer serve them. They should increase it to about 30%. What's the way out? We can see that nurses are even leaving the NHS. They are going to countries like Australia, Canada, US, because it's just so unpredictable. Like, the laws are just so unpredictable in the UK. Even it takes a student about 10 years to even get to permanent residency. If you are here in the UK, if you came as a student route, it can take you up to 10 years. And some people, if you came through the work route, it can take you up to 5 years to even get your indefinite leave to remain. And you have to pay through your nose. I think this is not fair. But where else would they have gotten money from, rather than, getting money from people who have come to serve them? Literally feels like you're working for the government. You have to work full hours. You can't reduce your hours. You have to pay tax. You have to pay NIN. You have to pay all of this without any cushion. No cushion on your finances. No cushion on anything. You have to suffer the full effects. And you're living in a country with the same people. They have access to benefits. They have access to a lot of funding, hardship benefits, everything is just accessible to them. This is really not fair. This is really not fair. But on the other note, they are not the one that asked us to migrate from our country. If our country was doing well, if our governments were doing well for us, we wouldn't have to come and face this in this country. I know some people that are from different countries, and when they see what is happening in the UK, they just say, you know what, I can't stay here anymore. I'm going back to my country. I wish it's so easy for Africans to say that. I really, really wish. I hope that the African governments are also looking at this, and they are making plans to make life better for their citizens. It's not just about corruption. It's not about enriching their pockets. They really see that people are suffering. Everyone is suffering. Whether you're from African countries, both home and abroad, you are still suffering. It's really unfair. Like, it looks like life is very unfair for you when you come from African countries. It just takes you back for like 20 points behind your peers. If you've heard of this news, how do you feel hearing this news? And what is the way forward? Where are we going to? How can we move? Or how do we just cushion this effect of the news that they've already broken? It's just very heartbroken. It's very, very heartbroken, I must say. So if I hear any update, I'll definitely bring it to your hearing. Thank you for watching this video. Bye for now.